only found in plant cells, right? So again, if we're thinking about organelles or if we're thinking about cells as rooms, the cell wall or the organelle cell wall would be like the wall of the room, right? So it holds the room up, it holds the structure all together, right? And then we have the chloroplast as well. So thank you so much. You guys did a great job with that do now. Make sure if you haven't already, please make sure that it's in Google Classroom. So when I go back to grade it, I can go and check that for you. We are now going to move on. All right. So last week, not last week, I know it feels like it's been a week, but on Wednesday, we took our mini quiz again. And these are some of the questions that I thought were the most important questions for us to review, right? So the first one was, which of the following can be found in a plant cell? So my boy Samaj just told us that the answer is chloroplast and cell wall. But actually, you can also find mitochondria and nucleus inside of a plant cell as well, right? It's just you can only find the chloroplast in the cell wall only in plant cells, all right? So that leads us to our second question, was which of the following can be found in an animal cell? So while the mitochondria and the nucleus can be found there, which about 68% of us got right, there's no cell wall, there's no chloroplast that can be found in an animal cell. And why can you not find a chloroplast or cell wall inside of an animal cell? Why is that not possible? Somebody raise your hand. We just talked about it. Why can't you find a chloroplast and a cell wall inside of the animal cell? Logan, you got it for me? Why can't you find it? How come this chloroplast and cell wall is not in the animal cell?
Because the chloroplast and the cell wall are plant cells.
Exactly.
Not animal cells.
Exactly. They're plant organelles. They're only found in plant cells. Mm-hmm. Thank you so much, buddy. So now that we were able to stamp that, I want to make sure that we have that in our notes, make sure everybody knows that, so that we do not have to go over that part again. So great job, guys. A lot of great participation with that as well. All right. So we're going to move on. And we did talk a little bit about these last time, but we're going to dive in a lot deeper today, okay? So last week or earlier this week, we took a look. Logan, can you mute yourself, buddy? Last week, let's make sure we're all muted, please. Thank you. Samaj, can you mute yourself, buddy? Thank you. So last week, we took a look at the Elodea plant, right? So under a microscope, we took a look at the cells that it was made of, right? Today, we're going to take a look at another organism. This organism is called Promisia, all right? So can I have this in the chat? Looking at the two different organisms, can you type in the chat to me, what is the difference between the two organisms? What is the difference between the two organisms? The top one we have is Elodea. The bottom one we have is Promisia. So just by looking at it, what can you tell me is the difference between the two organisms? All right. So I know you guys can participate in the chat because when y'all was asking me about movie or telling me about movies, everybody had the chat movie. Thank you, Nishida. Thank you, Duchess. Thank you, Kendall. Yeah, it's just normal stuff. It doesn't even have to think too hard. Just looking at it, what looks different between the two organisms, right? It gives about 10 more seconds for us to hit that chat. Again, remember, we're trying to earn all of our PBIS points today by participating in the chat and also other ways as well. Thank you to Ryan. Thank you, Malaysia. Thank you, Kendall. Thank you, Logan. All right. So, yes, there are some differences between the two. But before we get into the specific differences, there's a few other things that I want us to introduce first. All right. So, the first thing that we're going to talk about is while we know both organisms are composed of cells, because they are in fact living things, both the Promisia and the Elodea are living things, we need to identify what type of cells they are made of, all right? So can I have somebody who is wearing, let's see what kind of clothes y'all got. Oh, no. Somebody who's wearing a blue shirt. Who can read what a multicellular organism is? Someone with a blue shirt. Go ahead, Kendall.
You said multicellular organisms?
Multicellular organisms.
Multicellular organisms are made of multiple cells.
Thank you. So again, it's exactly what it is. Multicellular organisms are made of multiple cells. All right. Can I have somebody who has on a white shirt. Read the second line for me, please. Kendall, how you on a white shirt and a blue shirt? Go ahead, Samaj. Go ahead, read it for me.
Single-cell organisms are made up of only one cell.
Thank you. Right? So single-cell organisms are made up of only one cell. Okay? So here's what I need us to do real quick. All right? Now that actually, before we do that, this is one of our vocab words. These are vocab words, right? So multicellular and single-celled organisms are both vocab words, right? So please make sure we're taking the time to put that down under our notes in vocab. And when you have that down, can you show me just like this? All right? So I'm going to give us about 10 seconds to write down multicellular organisms are made up of multiple cells. Then I need us to put single-celled organisms are made up of only one cell. All right? And when you have that down, I want you to just raise your notebook so that way I know that we have it down and we're ready to move on. All right? And again, multicellular organisms are made of multiple cells, while single-celled organisms are only made of one cell. Thank you, Malaysia. First one done. That's what I'm gonna start doing. I'm gonna start giving out points for the first person to finish their notes. That's what we need to do. Yep. Well, I got something for you guys the next round. All right. Watch this. O'Malley, you got those notes down, buddy? Dylan, you got those notes down, bro? Thank you, Kendall. Kendall's trying to get these points today. All right. So everybody should have these notes. Thank you, Logan. So here's what we're going to do, right? Remember that whiteboard I told you to get? Make sure you grab that whiteboard. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. Get the whiteboard, get the whiteboard, get the whiteboard. Show me you got the whiteboard. I'm trying to see who has a whiteboard. Show me who has a whiteboard. Thank you, Dylan. Thank you, Delana. Thank you, Samaj. Thank you, Miles. Thank you, thank you. Grab that whiteboard, grab that whiteboard. And I know some of us may not be home, so if we do not have a whiteboard, that's fine. You can just make sure you use your notebook. Just make sure you throw that notebook up for me, all right? All right, cool. So now that you have your whiteboard, we're going to do something real quick, all right? Oh, no. So, technical difficulties. I'm telling you, technology stuff is not Messiah's friend. All right? So we're going back, and we're looking at the Elodia, which is up here. Can anybody see my arrow? You see me pointing at the Elodia? Y'all can see it? Give me head, shake that head, yes, if you can see it. In the bottom, you see the Promisia, right? Shake that head, you can see me doing Promisia. Cool. So here's what I want you to do, all right? I'm going to point to and call out one of these cells, and I want you're going to have 5 seconds to write down whether it is a single-celled organism or a multicellular organism, all right? Either a single-celled organism, which we just talked about, or a multicellular organism, all right? The first person that can write it down, show me, will earn their points, all right? Can we do that? The first person to write it down, show me, and get it right will earn their points, all right? You ready? Is everybody ready? Everybody got their pen? Everybody good? We good to go? Because I don't want to know what's, I wasn't ready, Mr. Isaacs. All right? So 3, 2, 1, and what kind of organism is our Paramecium? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I see Nashida up there first. Nashida, Malaysia. O'Malley in here. Samaj. What is that? Nashida with multi-celled. Malaysia with single-celled. Logan with single-celled. It actually is Matter of fact, I'm gonna let you think about what it is for right now. We're gonna go over it afterwards. All right. So the next one is our Elodia single-celled or multi-celled. Go ahead, write it down. Single-celled or multi-celled. What is Elodia? Single-celled or multi-celled? Samaz with the multi-celled, Nishita with the multi-celled, Elena with multi-celled. Still looking for some participation from some others. Dylan, what do you think it is? Is it single-celled or multi-celled? Aaron, is it single-celled or multi-celled? What do you think our Elodia is right here? What does Elodia look like to you? Single-celled or multi-celled? Seeing a lot of multi-celled. Okay. All right. So I'm going to be able to tell you your answers right now, okay? So we're going to go back to the screen, and we have Elodia. Can I have Indy? Can you read what Elodia is?
The Elodia plant is made up of multiple cells, so it is considered a multicellular organism.
Thank you, Indy. Great job. So yes, for all of my fans, all my friends who picked multi-cell, yes, Elodia is a multicellular organism, all right? So multicellular organisms are made up of multiple cells, like we just talked about. And this is because each cell in the plant is important, right? For the plant survival. All cells are living. One cell could not survive without the other, all right? So again, we should be moving towards our note section, and it should go under our subject part where we're talking about cells. So we want to put where each cell in the plant is important for plant survival. All cells are living, and one cell could not survive without another. One Elodia cell by itself does not have all the characteristics of life, so it cannot be considered an organism by itself. All right. So, example: cells in our body could not survive without each other. So this is a very, very important distinction, right? So multicellular organisms, the reason why there's so many cells is because they depend upon each other to live. They need each other to survive. Right? Think of, I don't know if Ms. Chen will agree with this or not, but think of it like this, right? Our class is like an Elodia cell, right? If each one of us, if we are individual cells, we do not survive as a class unless we are all together, right? Individually, we are students or a teacher, but together we are a class, all right? So our class is like an Elodia or a multicellular organism. If we were all considered organisms, all right? We're all considered cells, I should say. Ms. Chen, was that good? All right, cool. So can I get a thumbs up if everybody has these notes down and we're ready to move on to the next one, all right? Thank you, Nishita. Nishita's been on it. Thank you, Kendall. And let me tell you, you guys have been on it today. You guys are really one of my favorite classes. I tell you, the participation's up. You guys are snapping to it. You guys are ready to go. This is great. All right. This is my favorite Elodia class. Isaiah, you got a question, buddy? What's up?
Do we have a day or a whole day?
I do. I get off at
This is
12.
a full day of science, Isaiah. Full day. It's always going to be a full day unless it's Wednesday, all right?
Okay.
All right, let's go back to class. Thank you. All right, so now that we know what an Elodia plant is and an Elodia cell is, and we know that it's multicellular, I know a lot of us, when we guessed what the paramecium was, a lot of us guessed single cell, some put multi-cell. It actually is, can I have Miles, can you read that for me, please? Paramecium.
The paramecium cell by itself is an organism because it is only composed of one cell, and that one cell has all of the
characteristics of life.
Characteristics of life.
Exactly, right? So because it has all the characteristics of life, the paramecium are considered single